I can also use this opportunity to just basically turn this into an example video of my favorite games. Hello everybody, this is Mythos Zenith, and welcome to My Favorite Games, a series where I just play some of my favorite games and talk about why I like them so much. In today's episode, we have Diablo 1. Now, if you've been paying attention, you may notice this run from a stream. Mixture of strength, that's worthwhile. From a stream that I've been doing, where I've started playing the game again, because, well, Diablo Immortal came out, it sucked, and I wanted to remember my good times with the franchise instead. There you have it. That's all the reason I needed. Good times with the franchise. Freaking gargoyles are not what I would call a pleasant time. Just know that they're immune to lightning. Which makes things awkward. Because I am not casting a series of firebolts. That is not the gameplay that I want to do. That is not a gameplay you want to see, so we are putting down firewalls instead, because firewall is just a much better spell. Anyway, like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Either way, one of those two.
Not enough mana.
Do some combination of them. I'm currently doing a push to 1,000 subs, and every bit is greatly appreciated. Just like I would greatly appreciate this Deathwing to not be alive. Yeah, I basically used more mana than a single firewall spell to cast all those firebolts. So Diablo 1, why do I appreciate it? Well, first of all, it is a roguelike at its heart. Sure, Diablo invented the... Diablo may have invented the action RPG genre. But compared to modern games, would you really call this action RPG? It's definitely a slower, more methodical roguelike dungeon crawler. And I love it. Unique club. This deep? Why? What's the purpose? I will say I love it when the gargoyles are set up like that. 2 firewalls blows up the whole group. Oh. So I'm currently playing a Sorcerer, which uses magic primarily. Doesn't necessarily involve itself too much with weapons. Doesn't invest enough strength points, even though it tries, it can't max out, to use heavy armor. So you're basically just using your spells at a certain point in time, or by a certain point, and it's fun. I like it. I think it's great. I think the opportunities which this game offers are fun, because you have the Sorcerer, which uses all the magic. I mean, everyone can use any amount of magic. Sorcerer is primarily built to use magic. You have the Warrior, who is built to use physical attacks with melee weapons, and the Rogue, who is built to use a bow and just fire off arrows like a machine gun. What more do you need? So there you have the core class fantasy already established, already in progress. You have, this is the first game that really was what could be considered a action RPG, being a real-time roguelike dungeon crawler, which, even for the time was pretty novel. Definitely its claim to fame.
Not enough mana.
Would definitely argue that if Diablo wasn't real time, it would just be kind of a cult classic and then would kind of die out like the rest of the roguelikes of the era, where people still return to them. Still a lot of fun gameplay to be had, a lot of interesting stuff. But at the end of the day, roguelikes, games like Rogue, all that stuff, is an aged genre that has evolved mostly through the desires of indie devs. Meaning, ultimately, at the end of the day, they're cult classics.
Not enough mana.
A lot of people love them, but there's a reason why not a lot of AAA studios are making them. But yes, Diablo 1, I really enjoy it, I really love it. It's fun, it's slower. This is a game that it brings me back to my childhood. I remember playing this a long time ago, many years ago. One of my earliest childhood gaming memories is finally killing Diablo and then rushing excitedly into my parents' room screaming, "I killed him!" and having my mom be very worried. Until I explained to my dad, or with my dad rather, what it was. And it's like, okay, you're fine. Weird thing to shout, but you're fine. Yeah, so part of this game definitely brings me back to my youth, to my childhood. I feel like that's a lot of the games that I can say that I love, I guess, at this point, is that they're mostly nostalgic for me. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I don't think living with nostalgia is bad. I just think that not seeing nostalgia for what it is the problem. Because I can definitely admit, this game has its faults, this game has its flaws, this game has grit to it, it's slow, it's clunky, it has a lot of systems that create frustration. I mean, look at that, right now I'm about to die to a freaking gargoyle because I can't lay down a firewall straight away because my cast speed is too slow for its attack speed. I'm having to deal with two unique types of immunities. One set of monsters that's immune to fire, one set of monsters that's immune to lightning. I have to bounce between two spells instead of just spamming the same one. But you know what? I like that. It means I have to think. It means I have to engage with the game systems. It means I can't just grab Chain Lightning and have that be my only spell now and forever. I can't just right-click my way through the game. I have to slowly proceed, see what type of monster I'm up against, throw out the right type of spell. I like it. It's fun. It's slow, methodical, paced gameplay. And sure, you can break this game wide open with glitches and duping and everything super easy. I don't do that. I engage with the game as it is because while it is fun to have infinite money and to just dupe the best stuff and not have a care in the world, that type of fun, at least for me, only lasts about 5 minutes. At the end of the day,
Not enough mana.
I really want something that's sustainably fun. Just play it straight. Play it as it was meant to be played. You don't need to mod everything. You don't need to, you know, customize your game experience. You don't need to abuse glitches and be overpowered and everything. It's like, you know, I had some friends who ran around Diablo 2 in Hero Editor. Just give themselves absolutely overpowered items, run through the game, kill everything. It was crazy. It was fun. But then that was fun for an afternoon, and then you just kind of didn't care about it anymore. Whereas this, the feeling of exploring and achievement and doing something unique and fun and different with the game. Oh yeah, this is what I mean about blasting with Chain Lightning.
Not enough mana.
And I'm gonna die. Oh, this is not good. I might actually die here. These flayed ones look like what they're immune to. They look like they're immune to lightning, and they are.
I have no room.
Okay, you have no room because you're useless. So drop Staff of Town portal, pick up the longbow, and go, and then I will pick up the Staff of Town portal on my way back. Okay. But yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's relaxing. That's more so why I like this game so much. It's relaxing. Sure, it can be stressful at times,
you, my friend?
but it's those moments of high stress, ultimately between a lot of chill, more relaxed gameplay. It's relaxing, it's enjoyable. Gnarled Root. Chance to plus 20%, plus 300% damage, 10 dexterity, 5 to magic, resist to all, 10%. Armor class minus 10. Yeah. Almost every unique item in Diablo 1, just so you know, has at least one downside. I mean, take Griswold's freaking Edge, for example. Insanely good. Fire damage, chance to hit, fast attack, knocks target back, mana, minus 20 hit points. Nothing is perfect. There's a reason why the most duped sword is just a magic sword, the King's Sword of Haste. 28% resist all on a ring. If I had the money. If I had the money. Do you think I will sell Griswold's Club? Griswold's Edge?
Whoa, what can I do for you?
To get the money. I still don't have the money. Because I bought a book of Mana Shield that I've never used. But yeah, ultimately, the game's fun. I like it. Brings me back to my childhood, brings me back to happier times, and it's still just fun and relaxing to play through today. It's a game that I feel that I have some expertise in, that I know things about, that when asked questions or questions come up or I'm watching other people play,
I sense a soul in search of answers.
I have answers I can give. 24,000! My goodness, that is a good chunk of change. Any good books? Book of Phasing. No, thank you. I'm gonna buy that ring. That is significantly better than the Ring of Truth. I mean, the Ring of Truth is not bad. I'll probably save it still. But yeah, I have some expertise in the game. I've grown to learn things. I know what pretty much all the shrines do based on their titles,
what can I do for you?
and I still remember some of them based on their name itself. I enjoy the game. I engage with it. I just really appreciate it for all that it is. At the end of the day, it's one of my favorite games. Newer games might come out. I still love Diablo 1. Do I think it's better than Diablo 2? No. I think it's different. I think it's different in such a way that you can't necessarily quantify it, clarify it. I enjoy it. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's one of my favorite games. I'm allowed to have favorites. I'm allowed to like what I like. I like the slower pace. I like the roguelike ideal. Don't like how loud Atra's voice is at times when I'm trying to talk over her. Come on. But yeah. Heck, I'm kind of... Okay, I'm not really a super fan of like the whole save scumming thing, the save meta, but it is what it is. I like knowing more about the game. I like that my knowledge allows me to enjoy the game more instead of just optimizing the fun out of it and ruining it. A lot of games, once you know too much, you just optimize and you're like, oh yeah, I know not to go there, I know that that's a waste of time, I know that this is the most optimal route to get everything that I want, so I'm just gonna go that way. And it, even when you're not going that way, it nags at you, I'm not going the optimal way. I like that the more I learn about this game, the more that I know, the more I can use what I know in an ever-changing environment, that whole roguelike structure. I know what things are good, and I know what things aren't good, but even if they aren't good, depending on the run, I might have to look into them. I used freaking Inferno on this run. At least at the start. Didn't use it for very long, because it sucks, but I used it. I've engaged with almost every system in this game over the course of many years. I've learned more about it, I engage with it, I love it. I like learning more, and I like when learning more makes it more fun instead of less. Too often in so many games, when you learn more, you have less fun because the fun part is in the learning. In this game, there's fun in the learning, and there's still fun in the execution on what you've learned, because it's always going to be something different, it's always going to be something unique, and it's usually going to be something fun. Anyway, once again, this is Mythril Zenith signing out. Diablo 1 is one of my favorite games. Hope you enjoyed this commentary and this discussion. I'm doing these as a more free-form discussion, they're not overly scripted, I'm just talking off the cuff. Hope that's enjoyable to at least some of you. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, please let me know how you feel about this type of content going forward. Let me know what other games you'd like to hear me talk about. I mean, I'm going to be mostly talking about my favorites here, so it's at the end of the day my personal preference. But if you have any games that you really like, talk about them in the comments. Love to have a discussion, love to see these explanations and reasons of why you like things. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I like things, and I like talking about the things I like, and I like hearing about the things that other people like. That's why this series is what it is. That's why I'm here. Hope you have a great day. This is Mythril Zenith, signing out.